All right, this is a Norton head and a Norton head parts, and this is my machinist, John Grimmer, and whose email address is things could be Grimmer. I think that's too cool. Anyway, he's just rebuilt this head. Did you put new seats in here or just grind them?
Just ground them.
Okay, ground them, new valves, grind the seats, new guides, and we're going to put it back together now. So what I do, as I was just showing John, is I lay out all the parts. That way, if you lay everything out and you say, okay, there's something missing here, and you can say to yourself, oh, look, where'd that go? And then you can shake parts and find out that it's actually stuck inside the spring and everything's okay. But at least this way you know everything you need is here. You got all the parts. Now I'm going to clean them a little bit more, and then we're going to put this head together. So I'm going to do a little cleaning, and then we'll put these valves in the head. All right, I've cleaned up all the parts, washed them all out, buffed up some of them, and we're going to put this head together. John just pointed out to me something I had not noticed. This port over here has been rethreaded with a steel insert held in place with Allen bolts, and it's a beautiful job, just lovely. That's one of the best jobs of rebuilding a port I've ever seen. And the question, why didn't they do both ports at the same time? Because if that one's stripped, this one's going to. By the way, in my humble opinion, I want to let you know, these strip because people do not tighten these nuts tight enough. It's not that they're over tightened. They don't get tight enough, and the pipe sits there and bangs against the nut and strips out the threads. Now, seriously, I sincerely believe this, and I tell a lot of people this. If you can strip this thread when you tighten that header nut with the big blue wrench, if you can strip these threads, you've done a good thing, because they were going to strip anyway. So tighten it down all the way, because the thing that causes these threads to strip, in my humble opinion, is the fact that the big blue nuts were not tightened, the big header nuts were not tightened tight enough with the big blue wrench. Also, I often put 2 of the new style crush washers in each port, and then tighten them down. And I'm using, this is the new style crush washer, the thin steel ones, and I will put 2 on each side. And I will put red Loctite, not red silicone, high temp red silicone in here to seal them, and then tighten the heck out of them. Red silicone's good up to 600 degrees, and these things don't get that hot. So yeah, that's true, really. Use your little thermo job you're doing, measure it. Anyway, so we're going to put the valves inside the head now. Here we go. This is my valve spring compressor. I bought it back in the 1970s. I've used it ever since. It's not sophisticated, but it works. I did grind this down. It was a little bit larger diameter, and I ground this area down. You can see the step right here, just so it'll fit inside the heads on these various bikes a little easier. But I've had this for a long, long time, and believe it or not, they actually still sell this exact compressor online. It's an oldie but a goodie, and it's not sophisticated, but it works just fine. Okay, now I can't tell you how many valve insertions over the last 20 years, but this is all new to John. John's a machinist, and this is all a new experience. He does all the machine work, but he wants to learn how to put these valves in. So we're going to do this on a sort of an educational basis. Might have a few foibles here. We might even actually screw up, and we'll do it on video. So let's try to put these valves in. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the valve stem, and then we're going to put it together. Let's do the right intake. Let's not forget
Oh,
See,
yeah.
here we go, first foible. Let's put this on.
Yes, you.
Okay, that's down and over. All right, John, what we do, we're going to bring it over here and set it up like when we took it apart, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Putting it together is somewhat easier, but not completely easy.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And I'm going to let you do it.
Oh,
So we press it down, and you can see, if you look over here, you can see as you move the head around, you can actually make
oh yeah.
more room
Sure, sure.
to drop the little keepers in.
Right, right.
So we're going to tighten this down to get this keeper area up in the air. Like so. And now you get to do the opportunity. Let me get a flashlight. And along
Use
those
a
pliers-
pick or something like that? Or use a pick or to put it in?
I always use these
Mhm.
long nose pliers. Now, see, this is the fun part because it loves to go flying.
Sure. Absolutely.
So we got to take the keeper and drop it in here,
Yep.
okay? And then drop it in the opposite side, and we have to have enough clearance on this gap in here, right there, where it goes. And let's get a little farther down and see
Yeah.
how this goes. And this is the fun part.
And it should fall right in.
It should fall. Oh, dream on. Okay, now the narrow end, the narrow side goes down, the thick side goes up. Okay,
Yep.
I'll hold the light.
All right. That's one.
And it dropped in beautifully.
Yeah.
Now we just got to get the other side.
See, I don't see what the
This-
problem is, Frank.
Now you just need to get the other side in.
Yeah. Now here comes the clearance part. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I do this with the head, you make a little bit more room over there.
Let's see.
And sometimes you can reach in there and actually move the little clip
Right.
around with a pointer.
Sure.
Okay, that's good.
Get out there.
See, it's magnet.
Yep. And I fell down. It fell over in the back, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, we got a little.
Can you get it out?
I can. I will.
Okay, now thick side up
Yep.
and try to come in here and get it down inside there. Okay, now if you can get it down to underneath the little lip,
That damn lip, yeah.
it will close itself.
Hmm.
And sometimes
Look. Look. Look.
magnetic little so-and-so, like that.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to tighten this down a little bit more to get it to fall in.
It should fall in.
It should. That's a capital should.
Ooh, so close.
I know. Hold that light.
You bet.
This is the fun part when I do this alone.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think it'll squeeze it down a little more.
it's actually under
Oh,
under the lip, I think.
don't want to go in there.
Yeah, it'll go.
Oh, yeah.
You just gotta give it a reason. And I'll tell you what, using a non-ferrous pointer helps a lot. And sometimes
Oh, yeah.
So all you have to do is get it down below that, the level of that lip.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Hold that light.
Yep.
See, sometimes they go really, really easy, and
Sure.
sometimes they don't.
It does look like it's below that lip.
No.
Yeah, it's caught on that lip. You know, right?
Okay, good.
I think it was there all the time. We just
Yep.
we didn't believe it. Yeah.
Okay, they're in.
That's it.
Okay?
Yep, yep, absolutely.
Let's do the next one. You know, I don't like that spring.
You what?
Something with that spring.
The way it's sitting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like split out. Look how spread that spring is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to show you what I'm looking at. Let's see if I can get up here. We've got this installed, but look at how the spring is sort of sticking out there. It's like it's spread. I'm going to take this apart again and take a look at that spring. I might just turn that spring over.
Right.
I don't like the way it's sticking out. So we're going to go over to the bench and do a little work. All right, we took that valve out, took a look at it, compared that spring to all the other springs. They all look exactly like that. They've been in there forever and ever. Amen. So we put it back together. John's now doing the left intake valve. That one in there. You got them both in?
We got one in.
Okay. Yeah, you move the head to make it a little bit more gap.
Yeah. Oop, whoa.
Okay.
You can see.
Okay, no, should have it. You got it?
I think so. I'm trying to see first.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Oop, that's it.
Okay, intakes are done. Good.
Yeah, very good.
All right, good. All right, we're not going to make you watch the exhaust. That's enough of this. We'll pick up when we put the rockers in. Okay, we've got all the valves in place. The springs all look identical. They all stick out a little bit, but they've been in there for years, so they're back in. I did one, John did three. We use the old watch one, botch one, do one philosophy. And they're all in, and they look good. Now, the last thing we do is traditional. It theoretically checks to make sure that none of these little keepers will pop out under use. I do it to honor my father, who used to do it, so I just do it because my dad did it, but everybody says it's a good idea, and we're going to do it now. Watch.
Yeah.
Hoorah! Yeah. You do this too. Tradition.
It is.
Tradition. So let's give her a smack. I'm just going to do it like this so that all right, they're in. We're going to load up the rocker arms and rocker shafts now. The thing to remember is that the rocker shafts go in, the spring goes towards the center of the head, and the
Thrust washer?
shafts
shaft.
go with the cutaway facing the outside of the motor. So the cutaways on these go facing this way and that way. This cutaway, when I put it in, faces the front of the motor. Okay? And on the older bikes, they had a spiral all the way around there, and I always thought that was a much better idea. But that's the way it goes. So the spring goes inside, right in here. The flat washer goes on the outside, and the shaft goes with this facing forward. But you still have to line this groove up here with the oil passage, which comes in there. So this groove still has to line up with that oil passage. Now before I put it together, I'm going to make sure that that oil passage from both directions is clear. Okay? So let's just shoot a little cleaner through it just to make sure it's nice and clear. Can this be seen? Okay, nice and clear.
Yeah.
Okay, nice and clear. Nice and clear. All right. So we're going to put these rocker shafts in. Let's start with the. This would be. I get confused here. Let's go with right front exhaust. Right exhaust. Okay, and then the right intake. So let's see. We got a right intake sitting right here, and a right intake rocker here, and we're going to put this together.
You know, it's counterintuitive to have this thing towards the front.
I know.
Just saying.
I know, believe me. And I don't like it personally. I like the old spiral. I would like to see this go around
Right.
to make sure you're getting the whole.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
you got to do what the guy says. All right, so.
What do you want me to do?
I'm trying to decide how to show people what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's going to slide in here, like so. This guy is going to go in just far enough to
Yeah.
catch this guy,
Right.
and that should do a slide in without
Yeah.
too much effort. Unless we have a burr there. Let's see if we have a burr there. So, going back to where we were, we're going to slide this guy in just far enough to catch this washer. I could hit it. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Thank you so much. Alright, so that's being supported on there. Everybody's still able to see what we're doing? Okay, good. We're going to put the rocker in, got lots of oil on it. everybody who's saying out loud, Frank, you're supposed to heat the head and chill the shaft. Frank, heat the head, still chill the shaft. Yeah, right. Okay. Now let's get in here and get the spring in place.
Yeah.
You guys can't see this, sorry. Now the thing with this, getting the spring in, you can get it in here real easy. It goes in between this no problem. But then the sharp end of the spring gets hung up. And what you have to do is get it in here like this and push that spring in. And then finish your tap, 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 tap. Now don't forget, this guy's got to point at that hole right there. Okay, so let's rotate him while we have the chance. Right at that hole.
Oh, yeah. Good.
See, now right now, this spring is on the outside of the rocker.
Oh,
See it?
yeah, right.
So we got to get it inside like that.
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah. There we go. And, oh, you gonna rotate that shaft, I mean?
Yeah, the shaft is rotated a little bit. Good news, you can always unrotate it too.
Yeah.
Okay, so now at this point, make sure that you got spring play in this rocker, okay? Now, let's realign this shaft. I'm going to throw this thing away.
Yeah, you'll throw it away now and then you'll need it later.
I know.
I think it's over there in that corner.
Yeah. So what you do is you watch, as you tap it in, you make sure that it matches the hole that's right about there.
Right.
Okay? And now the fun part is, if you make it too up, you can't get these in because these little notches hold it in place.
Oh, wow.
That's the fun part.
That is
Not a good design. I've dead centered that hole, see it?
Oh, yeah.
And I bet you $1 we have to rotate this shaft just down a
Oh.
little before we can put these lock guys on it.
Right.
Because right now those little notches are like this.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
they're off.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is.
It's all around bad design. And that won't work. I thought it would. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, it would.
So what we're going to do now is rotate this shaft just a little
Sure.
bit to line the hole up. Still have it lined up, but have that match.
Yeah, these things are
Yeah, I mean, it was a bad design from the beginning.
yeah, there's not enough of it there to really to try and do it without the tool. Yeah. Gee.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to try to rotate this a
Sure.
little bit and see
That'll
how it
work.
goes.
Oh, yeah.
We may have to pull it back out.
Oh, well, we'll see. Oh, there it went. Okay. Yep, moved it.
A little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, that'll do it.
Yeah, sure.
And that'll do it, and I'll show you if I can that, John, if you'll hold this, I'll show them that there's still hole there showing. Cameras. zoom down, and you should be able to see the fact that the oil line hole is still in the notch, even though we rotated it.
Right.
Okay? So, at this point in time, what we do is make sure that we've got good spring action sideways
Yeah.
on the rocker, like so. Okay?
This double one here, you know, we don't know where it came from. I was wondering if the spread between this side and that side was different on one of them, and they put 2 washers to get more spring tension. I don't know.
Nope. That was somebody left one in here.
Oh.
Because we actually have an extra flat washer that fell out of the head. So at some point in time, somebody lost this, couldn't find it, replaced it, and it's been in the head ever since. Ah, the joy, the joy. Okay, so that's one done.
Yeah.
And we got 3 more to do, which I'm going to let John do, just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
All right, we got all the rockers in. We got good feel, good spring. Sound good. Let's just turn it around. Okay, all the covers are on. And the head's ready to go back to its owners.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a nice.
Huh.